All right, if you've ever worked in Dubai, you've probably had to deal with getting sick leave. But how does that system actually work behind the scenes? Well, today we're diving deep into the official Dubai Health Authority policy to see the really strict rules that govern whether that time off gets approved.
So think about it. You've been to the doctor, you hand in that sick note, but have you ever stopped to wonder, is this thing really official? What's the actual difference between just a note from your doctor and a legally binding certificate that your boss has to accept? Let's get into it. Here's our game plan for today. First, we're going to look at why this policy was even created. Then, we'll talk about the official gatekeepers of sick leave. After that, we'll get to the big one. How many days can you get? We'll also walk through the digital process that tracks it all, and finally, what happens when people try to break the rules.
Okay, first things first. Why even have such a detailed policy? Well, it's all about bringing some much-needed order to a really important system.
You see, the problem the Dubai Health Authority, you'll hear them called the DHA, was trying to solve was a total lack of consistency. Before this, the whole process was a bit of a mess, which led to confusion and, you guessed it, opened the door for fake sick notes. The goal was to build one single, regulated, fraud-proof system that worked for everybody.
And that brings us to the most important thing you need to know, the official Sick Leave Certificate, or SLC. This isn't just a piece of paper. It's a specific electronic certificate that's issued by a licensed professional through the official DHA system. That digital trail is everything. It's what makes it legit.
So we know what an official certificate is, but who actually has the power to give you one? Let's meet the official gatekeepers who can legally sign you off from work. And the rules here are super strict. It has to be a physician or a dentist who is officially licensed by the DHA. That means the friendly person at the front desk can't do it for you. And get this, even a licensed doctor can't issue one if they're not at the facility where they're officially registered. It's all about making sure the request is coming from a verified and authorized source.
And the rules for the doctors themselves are just as tight, to close all the potential loopholes. The certificate has to be issued on the very same day as a face-to-face appointment. So you can't get one for that flu you had last week, and you definitely can't get one for a sickness you think you might get next week. It has to be right then and there, based on a real in-person checkup.
Okay, now for the question on everyone's mind. What are the limits? How many sick days can you actually get?
The policy sets up a really clear hierarchy. Your average general practitioner or a dentist, they're authorized to give you up to 5 days of sick leave. But if your condition is more serious, that's when a consultant or a specialist steps in. They have the authority to grant you leave for up to a whole month, 30 days, all based on their professional medical judgment.
And what about those telehealth or online appointments? The rule is crystal clear: 1 day, maximum. For anything more than that, the DHA says you've got to be seen in person.
But wait, there is one really big exception to that 5-day rule for GPs. If you have something highly contagious or particularly serious, we're talking things like chickenpox, measles, that kind of stuff, then their authority gets extended. In those specific cases, a GP can actually issue leave for up to 2 weeks, mainly to protect public health.
So, we know the rules, we know the limits, but how does this all come together? Let's follow the electronic paper trail of the whole digital certification system.
The absolute backbone of this whole policy is the DHA's e-services portal. Think of it as the central command hub. Every single SLC is applied for, logged, and checked right there. This creates one single verifiable record for every case. No more "I lost the paper note."
For the doctor, this is a very structured process. They have to log into the official portal, enter all the patient and diagnosis info using standardized medical codes, and for any leave that's longer than 5 days, they have to attach a full-blown medical report. The whole thing is designed from top to bottom for maximum accountability.
Now, of course, a system of rules is only as good as its enforcement, right? So what happens when somebody tries to bend or break those rules? Let's talk about the consequences.
The official watchdog here is called the Health Licensing Department, or HLD. Their whole job is to review and verify these sick leaves. And if any application pops up that seems a little fishy or doesn't have a solid medical reason behind it, the HLD has the full authority to investigate, reject it, and even take disciplinary action.
And the policy spells out exactly what gets you into hot water. We're talking about things like issuing a fake sick leave, giving more days than you're allowed to, letting an admin assistant issue the certificate, or just trying to skip the official electronic system altogether. Any of these can trigger a serious investigation for the doctor involved.
So what's the big takeaway here? Well, the DHA's policy is a really fascinating peek into how a modern city uses technology to manage something so fundamentally human as just being sick. On one hand, it creates a transparent, fair, and verifiable process for everyone. But it does make you wonder, right? In this push for a perfectly regulated system, how much room is left for a doctor's own professional judgment? It's a balance, and it's definitely something to think about.